Hi, this is Helen Lockery. I need to make some comments here on some opinion of mine that I'm not too happy what's going on. My son is on a disability with Social Security. I'm his biological mother, and he's been living with me all this time with no problem with it whatsoever. So my son goes to Imagine the Possibilities place for his discovery and his job and respite care. Thing is, I can't stop him from going. That's his choice. Thing is, this business or whatever we want to so-called business is very deceptive, misleading, and misguiding with my son. I'll tell you why I feel this way. Because they do things that are misleading with my son when he is in their uh, meetings and they goes to these meetings with these people. They do some deceiving and lying with my son. They've done this more than once. Try to trick him and deceive him into moving out somehow out of my home. They've been trying to trick him into it, and they would do it several times with me not around, and only tell him later. And they would, and I told him they've been caught more than once on that. And I told him, Travis, you better be careful what you sign. I don't want you signing nothing without you showing me the paper because they will trick you into doing something you should not be doing. Very deceptive with these people. And because I exposed it, uh, and I told him I'm not happy about you guys doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then, so I'm his payee, and he has a bank account at the Guthrie Bank. Bank account is I'm his payee at that Guthrie Bank, right? And so he's had a different bank account with the one in the Guthrie Bank, right? There's another one. He has another one, but that's for his job money. So like when he earns money at the high school, or I don't know, it was elementary. So he's a dishwasher at an elementary school, and the earnings he gets goes into his bank account. It's a separate bank account at the Guthrie Bank. So mine's different from his, but I'm his payee at that same bank. And just because I don't know why, because I decided I might just want to move it to the People's Bank in the same town to a different bank to be his pay in a different bank account. I wanted to move to the People's Bank in the same town, the payee account for me and Travis, to have a different bank. They flipped and like got very overly defensive about me moving it to a different bank because it's not have nothing to do with this work job at all, nothing to do with this earnings, and that it's just a different move to a different bank account where I'm his payee and his name's there. It's I'm his payee still, and his name's on that bank account still, and just to a different bank account. That's all, different bank. Well, they got so opposing about it and so defensive about it. They were threatening me a lot about it after that. Some other person I can't remember what they, but they're all getting over defensive about it. I don't know why. So because they didn't agree with my decision of wanting to do that, they were trying to say or make a false claim report on me, saying I'm using Travis's money for bad reasons and this and that, saying I'm taking his money and stuff. They were making false claims against me because I didn't agree with their trickery and lies and deception that they were doing to my son, doing things quietly and deceivingly with my son, keeping things quiet away from me a lot, trying to deceive him, brainwash him. So I didn't agree with it. So they were trying to get me in trouble for that. And then, so a year or two later, then I found out later, Brenda there was like trying to talk him into being his payee without me knowing about it. And I found out days later that she was talking him into having him become his payee, and I only found out days later after she was talking to him, trying to brainwash him into being his payee, and I only found out days later. And so I think Travis just told me, I asked him about that, and I asked him, did they tell you, not to say anything about this? And then Travis told me, he said, yeah, they they told him not to say anything about it so that they could get him tricked into it. And I guess, so if they were able to get control over his money that way to be his payee, they would force him into a group home later on, I believe, if they were able to. That's what they were trying to do. Control my son and take his money. That's a bad company to be lying, deceptive, and brainwashing with your family members without you knowing about it. Doesn't that look very deceptive that way? Manipulating, brainwashing, the way they're doing it. They're mishandling funds that way. I'd say that's fraud to do it that way. Yeah, I think that's fraud that way. Yeah, maybe people need to look into it. And then they're very offended when you mention God in their business, by the way. Not very Christian of them when they get offended by Christians that way. Yeah, they don't want anyone mentioning any Christianity at Discovery even. Pretty bad of them. I hope people are careful when they go to that place. I get a little worried about my son now because of it. He's a grown up adult, but still, they do know how to brainwash family members. Thank you.